Hello and welcome to yet another dimension. I am Jeremy, and I have Terry here once again.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Well, for me at least. Because we're going to be talking about the PlayStation consoles.
What's that?
What's that? Well, it's only the greatest.
Oh, you mean this stuff on the table?
Yeah, the greatest line of video game systems of all time, in my opinion. And we're going to be ranking them.
I think I'd probably pick, if I'm talking overall, I'd probably pick PlayStation.
Yeah. And we're going to rank them. And from worst, I don't think it's a bad console. You might have a different opinion. From worst to best. First, we're going to talk about our history behind each one. And then we're going to give our own personal list. We're including the portable systems as well. So 7 in total. And we're going to talk about the history of it, our personal rankings, and then we're going to try to agree on what's the best of the best. And we might have to argue.
I think our top two is going to be... Our top two is going to be the same.
Mm-hmm. But the later ones...
Well, they might not be the same pick which one's number one, but I know our top two is going to be the same two consoles for
Definitely,
sure.
I think. And if you guys disagree with that, you know what you're talking about. And also, before, let's comment, subscribe to the channel, Preferred Dimension. Let's do it. So, you're the guest. Talk about your history with PlayStation.
So,
starting with the first one.
I've had a PlayStation since the PS1. My dad I was young because I'm 32 now. It came out in 95?
95 here in the United States and 94.
So I was 6 years old when it came out. So my dad got it around that time, and I just remember I had Destruction Derby 2 and WCW wrestling game were my first two games. And he had it hooked up in the other room where we had our computer hooked up in, and I would just go play in there and spend. I kind of stopped playing my N64 a lot at that point, other than I'd go back, every now and then for certain games. But
you had the N64 first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I? I actually don't remember. I think I did.
How about the PS2?
The PS2 I got, I think, not the year it came out, maybe the year after. What month did it come out?
October 26, 2000.
So I got it for Christmas in 2001 then.
Okay, sweet. So 2000. You said 2001?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the PSP? Came out 2004? Yeah.
I got that a couple years after it came out.
A couple years.
Dude at work sold to me for like $40 or something. It was the silver Dexter model.
Oh, you don't have that anymore?
Yeah, it's in the case over there.
Oh, you got that one. Okay, yeah. Cool. So next is the PS3. So did you skip that one?
I got a PS3 in May of 2021. For the first, I got it
for the first one.
I got it for $10 at a yard sale.
And did you ever play it, over a friend's house, or ever played it at all?
Nothing crazy. My brother had one for a minute. Not too long after it came out. The only thing we played on it was NHL. And other than that, I had no history with it at all.
Wow.
I maybe 2 years ago, I borrowed my girlfriend's friend's PS3 and played a little bit of Nier, Drakengard 3, and the original Ni no Kuni on that. But I only had it for a month.
So really no experience with it.
Yeah.
All Xbox 360. I don't blame you, because Xbox 360 is a great console.
I personally think the Xbox 360 won that battle out of those two.
We'll talk about that. So, what about next is the Vita, because the Vita came out 2012, right before the PS4.
I got that pretty late too, a couple years after. I found out you can mod it, bought it, never modded it. I ended up getting a PlayStation TV and modding that instead.
You got it right there.
Yeah, and
I'm mad I didn't get a PlayStation TV.
I got it on clearance at Best Buy, I think for $50, $40.
That's a deal right now.
Yeah, and then the only thing I really played on my Vita, I beat Adventures of Mana, and I beat Odin Sphere, and played a little bit of Ys Memories of Celceta. But other than that, I didn't play too much else on it.
Yeah, it was mostly,
They didn't really support it very well.
Yeah, it was a failure. It's the biggest failure.
Actually, no. The whole reason I got the Vita was for Adventures of Mana, because I didn't want to play it on my phone. It was phone or Vita only. So that's why I got it. So I got it right after that came out, whatever that was.
I forgot what. Yeah, I forgot when it came out. So the PS4. What about the PS4? That was 2013.
I got that in December of 2015.
December 2015. Okay.
Yeah, and I bought it. I bought Uncharted 4 and Last of Us remastered on it, and the Final Fantasy 7 like remaster or whatever you want to call it. Like it's the PlayStation 1 version of the game.
Yeah.
Just and then I played Uncharted and Last of Us a couple hours of each, but I went all the way through Final Fantasy 7 on it, and then my PS4 just sat for a couple years until
Final Fantasy 7.
really until I don't until the Kingdom Hearts collection started coming out for it.
Oh yeah.
And then I was living in this house by then, and then that's really when I started playing my PlayStation 4 a lot. I went through every Kingdom Hearts game on those collections, and then I just started playing it like crazy. And I didn't touch my Xbox One hardly at all after that, because the only game I played on it was the Master Chief Collection. That's, in my opinion, the only good exclusive on Xbox One.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I didn't. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Xbox One, man, they messed up. So, and what about the PS5 then?
PS5, I got day one.
Mm-hmm. And have you played really any games on it?
I beat Cyberpunk on it. I beat Resident Evil 8 on it. I beat Nier Replicant on it. I played the dog shit out of Astrobot on it. That's it that I put a lot of time into on it.
So the only one you skipped
I'm sorry. I played the Final Fantasy 7, the DLC on it too.
Okay.
Integrate.
All right, so the only one you skipped is the PS3.
Yep.
And you have it now, so
yep.
That's the only one. So you storied history. You like PlayStation. Now me, I love PlayStation. I had the original one along with the N64, but I was really young when it came out. I mean, I played a lot of classics like Crash Bandicoot, like the easier games to play. And I used to usually watch. I mean, he knows my brother. I used to usually watch him or my older friends play Metal Gear Solid or Resident Evil. But like the PS2, when it came out, we got it on release, I believe.
Was your brother working at GameStop at the time when it came out, or he probably still too young?
No, 2000. Yeah, he was probably like 14, something like that. 14.
Yeah. I can't ever remember. I know he's not that much older than me.
He's 1 year older than you.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so I think he was still too young for that. Yeah, so we got Tekken Tag. I was blown away by the graphics.
That was on PS2?
Yep, there's a release date. That's the first game I played on there.
I thought Tekken 4 was the first Tekken on PS2.
No, that came out a little bit later. But Tekken Tag Tournament, I love that game. The bouncer, early games like that. So I was blown away by it.
We'll probably be streaming the bouncer at some point in the near future.
It's an underrated game. It's a good game. I like it. Then the PSP. So that's the only one I didn't have. I'm not much of a portable game, player.
But
like
I did have the PSP and I loved it.
Yeah, that is the biggest mistake, because I don't know. Like back then, around 2004, like later on, I wasn't into gaming as much as I was before, and then afterwards,
once I started getting laid, I didn't play games that much. As I used to for a while until
it's embarrassing, but sports and girls, it's distractions. I don't like it.
Once I moved out on my own with my girlfriend is really when I started picking up gaming a lot again.
Mm-hmm. See, it's always better. Games are better. So yeah, the PSP, I skipped it, and I just got it last week.
Yeah.
My first one. I mean, I played a little bit of it, of course, and then the PS3. I didn't get it at launch because it's $600, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But my brother had the hookup. He worked at GameStop, and we got one around like 2007, 2008, and I used to play it, and I eventually got my own. And then, the Vita. I got that close. Oh no, I got that Christmas or two later, and I love the Vita, but it's very underutilized.
It's a very niche.
Yeah, niche product.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got to be a dedicated fan to really get the best out of it.
Because there's nothing too crazy on it for your casual gamer.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of indie games, almost all third-party games after the first couple years.
They had some. Yeah, we'll talk about it. They had some good ones, but then they just gave up on it 2 years in.
Yeah.
Not even. They just focus on the PS4. Now PS4, I got that at launch. I think that's the first system I got at launch other than the PS2. But I bought it with my own money, and I've been there since the beginning. Like, I played all the good exclusives, and then the PS5 I got it at launch as well, and I'm enjoying
we got
that.
Ours PS5's the same way. We the little lottery they did on PlayStation Direct's website.
Yep.
You just sign up and you have to win the raffle chance to get an opportunity to buy it. Which is a weird thing to say in today's day and age.
Yeah, it is weird.
Everything's like a shuffle or a raffle.
Yeah, they game up everything. Everything's a game now.
Yeah,
to get people addicted. But that's a different conversation. So let's get into our rankings finally. So you want me to go first, or you go first for number 7?
It's up to you. You're the boss.
For me, obviously, and I feel like you're gonna say the same thing, similar. I didn't play the PSP. Really, I think the only game that I beat that was exclusive to the PSP is Metal Gear Solid's
Acid?
Not Acid. Peace Walker.
Okay.
That's a great game. But I know there's a lot of great games on the PSP, a lot of remakes for RPGs, like a lot of RPGs on there.
A whole lot of Squaresoft on that boy.
Yeah, see that's why I'm mad, and I know you appreciated it, and it's a great system for its time, because like compared to the DS, it was great, the graphics, and I know that, and I messed up big time, so I have to put it at number 7. Not because it's bad, I just didn't experience it enough. And also, these lists can change easily, because I definitely have not played all the games I want to play on PlayStation systems.
I think if you give the PSP more time, I think it'll be a lot higher on your list.
I think so too. And also because
you need the since you don't like portable gaming, you need the cord to hook it to your TV.
Yeah, I need to get that.
I may have an extra one in that box. I'd have to look.
Also, you can play a lot of the games on the Vita. You can download it, but not all of them though.
Yeah,
you can play a lot of them. So, and also I want to mod it, and it also has the interface, the XMB, similar to the PS3. I didn't know it had it until now. That was before.
It's basically just like the PS3.
And that's, I admit, that's my favorite interface. It's so simple, it's easy to use.
I like the PS4's better.
Yeah, see, look, I think it's like a little bit too flashy for me. I like kind of like it's just like direct to the point where you don't have to hit no buttons. You have all that one screen. So for me, I like that more. So the PSP is the lowest. Obviously, I haven't played it, but it can raise up easily. Easily can change in the list.
Yeah, so I have the pretty much same outlook on the PlayStation 3. The only difference with me, I think, like how he talked about,
PlayStation 3 is number 7 for
number
you, right?
7
Okay.
for me, yeah. How he said he knows there's a lot of great games on the PSP, even though he's never played them. Now, for me, I've looked up the PlayStation 3 games, and for myself personally, with my taste, there's not a lot of stuff that I'm super interested in that's an exclusive.
Yeah, PS3 is that generation has the weakest in terms of RPGs, definitely.
And in terms, probably not just RPGs, probably even action games too.
Oh,
I would think.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
But I think 360 won that battle of that generation. I'm also a really big Halo fan, but I don't have much experience with the PlayStation 3. You know, in the future, I plan on playing a little bit on it. I do like the fact that you could play the PlayStation 1 classics and stuff on the PlayStation Store. Like, you can play those on the Vita and the PSP as well. But, you know, it's nice to play stuff on the screen, you know, a monitor or a TV.
Yeah.
But, you know, over time, same thing. It could change. Maybe I'll start playing it and like it.
A lot of the good games have been ported to the PS4, so I mean, you could just play them on the PS4.
Yeah.
So, but some games are still like exclusive to the PS3.
When I finally play through a game on the PS3, it'll probably be Drakengard 3. I'm going to run through the first 2 on PS2 and then probably play number 3 on the PS3.
That's funny because it was released already. The PS4 was already out.
When that came out?
Yeah, it was like 2014.
It's dumb that they didn't have a PS4 version then.
I don't know. Yeah, they just I don't understand because PS4 was a huge success when it originally came out. So that's number 7, PS3. Okay.
Yep.
So number 6 for me, I gotta say another portable system.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but Are we gonna? I know we got the stack of games here. We gonna do this at the end, or how are we gonna do this?
Oh no, I mean you could have showed it. You show any of the PS3 games that you have.
Oh,
yeah, you can talk about it during.
My bad. So, I have one.
I don't really have PSP games. That's why I didn't talk about it.
Oh my bad. I didn't. I got confused. I'm sorry. I forgot these were here. I played a little bit of Ni no Kuni, and Drakengard 3. That one's sitting over there. I didn't grab it out the stack, but I didn't play much. Only maybe like 6-7 hours of it. Mm-hmm. I plan on eventually beating it, but I'm gonna beat it on my PS4 with the remastered version. So.
Yeah, that was remastered for PS4. So yeah, a lot of the great games were. So the next one, near and dear to my heart, I just mentioned it. The PS Vita. I was looking forward to it because I missed the PSP. So PS Vita is number 6. So much potential, but like you said earlier, it was underutilized. It could have been a lot better. So some of the games, one of my favorite RPGs of all time, Persona 4 Golden. This is the updated version of Persona, and I used to, man.
It's also out on Steam.
Yeah, it's
as of like this year.
Yeah, I think it's this year or last year. But back then, that was the game to have, the RPG to have, and that's one of my favorites of all time. And I played it on there, so there's a lot of good memories playing that. That's like 80 plus hours. This game, I mean, when they originally came out, they were pumping out some good games. Yep. Gravity Rush is great. I don't have that.
I have that digitally on PS4.
Yeah, the PS4 version is super rare and expensive. I think it was like Amazon exclusive.
I had so many opportunities to buy that too.
Yeah, you should have. It's like over $100 now.
It was just on GameStop's website last week for $50. It was a limited run version.
Oh,
and for some reason, GameStop got a stock of them in somehow.
Yeah, you gotta get some. Cause I love that game. That's a good game. So it came out with Killzone, Mercenary. That's a great game. That's the best looking game on there. Uncharted, Golden Abyss. That's a great game as well.
It wasn't made by Naughty Dog though, that one, right?
No, it was made by Ben Studio, makers of Scythe and Filter. So those games were, a lot of them were on the PSP. I want to play those, the Scythe and Filter games.
Yeah.
So I want to play those. Uncharted, great. It's like PS3 quality graphics. There's some. Oh yeah, also this Lost Dimension. You might like this game.
Let me see it.
It's kind of like you gotta play. It's kind of like also Danganronpa. It's a visual novel game.
It's an anime too.
It's an anime now too, but that is like strategy RPG.
Oh, this looks fun.
Yeah, and you have to like it's kind of similar to Danganronpa, like I said, and like you're getting eliminated. You gotta see who's the corporate whatever. So there was a lot of like little games like Freedom Wars people didn't really know about, but yeah, the biggest flaws of the Vita, the memory card storage was messed up, so expensive, proprietary. Also it just came out the wrong time. I don't think nobody really wanted the Vita. People were playing on their phones.
Yeah, I hate playing phone games.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get it. Yeah, like high quality.
I said, I bought a PS Vita to not have to play one game that was available for phones. Mm-hmm. I bought a Vita to play it on the Vita.
I'm the same way. I never play phone games where it's probably like some of them's like $1. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Most of them are free.
Yeah, a lot of them are free. Like the ones that like the games that are ported, like the old school games.
Do you
like
remember
Final Fantasies?
Do you remember the Sony phones that had a controller built in?
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
I wish they still. Now, like if I could just swipe up and have a controller, I might actually play games on my phone.
Yeah.
But
now
it touched.
Most people are okay with it. I'm not okay with that. I don't like that. So yeah, the Vita, it had some great games, but it's too far in between. They just gave up on it, so it has to be really low for me.
Yeah, it's so it's gonna. My number 6 is also the Vita. Same thing, just not a lot of choices to play. Like I said, I beat.
But there's a lot of great indie games. Great place to play indie games and classic. The PlayStation classics.
Yeah, the old games.
Yeah. I play Final Fantasy 7 on it. My bad. Go ahead.
I beat Adventures of Mana, which is a remake of a Game Boy game, Final Fantasy Adventure. And then I beat Odin Sphere, which is a remaster of a PS2 game. Mm-hmm. And then Ys Memory of Celceta is the only one that's not even an exclusive anymore. That came out on PS4.
Yeah.
So That's it, really.
It
For the
would
PS3.
it.
I don't really have anything else to say that you didn't say.
Yeah,
I love the D-pad on the Vita.
Oh yeah, I forgot
about
about
badass D-pad.
Yeah, the D-pad and
I like how it's got 2 joysticks. That's what was hurting on the PSP a lot. Is the PSP would drop first-person shooter games, and your X, triangle, circle, and square would be how you look up and down and left and right.
Yeah,
Like, it would be like your second joystick, and that was terrible. Shooters were terrible on the PSP.
yeah. I'm not looking forward to playing shooters. That's why I was like, I might skip the shooters. Like RPGs and all that would be great for it.
Yeah,
And platformers as well. But yeah, but how it controlled on the Vita, I loved it. It would have been, man, if it was like the Switch, because it was the Switch before the Switch even was out. Because you can do crossplay with the PS3 and the Vita. It was something with that, like Slides Cooper.
Yeah, sometimes you'd buy games digitally, and it would give you you would own it on the PS Vita, the PS3, and the PS4.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's why I was like, man, the Switch did what the Sony was trying to do with the PlayStation Vita.
And then the PlayStation TV was just a PS Vita that you could play on your TV, but not every game worked because some games required the touch on the back of the Vita and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I missed this. I need to play it more. See, this is the slim model.
I like the slim model because it just used like a Android charger to charge it. You didn't have to have the.
Oh yeah, mine broke and I had to buy another one. It was annoying. Yeah, so number 6 is as well as Vita. Yeah. So number 5 for me. It's controversial, I think, maybe for some people. It's the PS4. The PS4, and PS4 was a big deal when it came out. Because the PS3, they messed up in the beginning. They came back. And then Xbox just like, here, you can have the generation. Go ahead. PlayStation, we'll fuck up for you.
Xbox was just canceling exclusives and shit, like Scalebound. And like they're like, yeah, fuck this generation. Xbox did make a decent comeback in the new generation. I think so.
Currently they're doing really well.
They're doing a lot better currently than they did last generation.
But do you remember E3 2013? Like how, like... So PlayStation, they were like doing DMR, Xbox, where like you couldn't play used games. You couldn't. You had to check online.
Yep.
They were trying to do all that, and then like
PlayStation roasted them. They were like, how do you let your friend play your game or something? And he was like,
thank you. It's like I was like, oh man. So for that generation, they played this safe though. PlayStation, I feel like, and also. A lot of the games I was looking forward to were disappointing. So Metal Gear Solid 5 was disappointment for me.
That's because of the whole drama with
it's still disappointing.
And Hideo Kojima.
That is true. But it was missing a lot. What I liked of the previous
out on
ones.
Silent Hills was a real big disappointment for me.
That too. Man, dang. So like a lot of the exclusives I didn't like compared to the previous generations. I know this is considered one of the greatest games of all time. God of War 2018. Have you played that?
About 10 hours of it.
It's a good game.
I was having a lot of fun with it. I don't know why I stopped playing.
Have you played the other ones?
Same thing, only a couple hours of each one.
So
I know they were a lot different.
Yeah, I like how the original ones play, and I'll talk about that later. They're trying to be like The Last of Us and Dark Souls mixed up, and I didn't really like the gameplay as much. The story is good. So I think that was overrated. Horizon Zero Dawn was good. But a lot of the other exclusives, like the 1886, Order 1886, you remember that?
Yeah, it was like Gears of War or something.
Oh, but it was way worse. It was just a showcase game. Infamous, Second Son, disappointment. I did a PS4 retrospective, and I was watching a video, and I was talking like, it was okay. This game was okay. A lot of games in that generation were just okay. Or some of them were great. Like my favorite game from that generation, Bloodborne. I love this game so much. One of my favorite games. And Soul series is Bloodborne series is my favorite so far. So Bloodborne, favorite of that generation. I don't have anything else to talk about that with that. Also, the start of live service bullshit games.
I hate that shit.
Microtransactions. There was a little bit of that with the Xbox 360, PS3 generation, but that was the start of games not being complete.
Yep.
That's why, like this last generation, it's like one of the weakest for me. Like it's different.
I really liked last generation. Towards the PS4 generation, I really liked it, especially towards the end. Towards the end, last
It's
year or
gotten
two,
better. Yeah,
they pumped out so many good single player games that last year or two.
Also, this, like I said, it's going to change this list because I haven't played all the games yet. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't played Nier, the new one, and some other
one.
The new old one, Replicant and Automata. So I'm still working through all of it, and there's still games coming out for it. But for me, like some of the stuff that they did early on left a bad taste in my mouth. And also like Evil Within. You ever heard of that?
Evil Within, you said?
Yeah, the Evil Within.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a disappointment for me. Like I was disappointed, and it wasn't crazy classics for me.
Did you play both Evil Withins?
Yeah, the second one's good.
Yeah, the second one I'm like 10 hours into that too, and it's good so far. It just feels like a clunky version of the RE remakes.
Exactly. So, I mean, and also there's a lot of good remakes, like the Resident Evil, of course, that's good. So for me, it could change in the future. Also, I'll talk about that soon. So, number 5 is the PS4.
So number 5 for me, I might honestly have to say the PS4, just because I'm only saying this because the PS5 I'm gonna rate higher than the PS4 only because you can play every PS4 game on it.
Yeah,
so
you can, yeah, and it's most of the time it's better.
But I do love my PS4. This game was amazing. I love the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I love this game so much.
They did it well, so good. I can't believe it.
Wait for part 2 to come out.
Man, how many parts do you think it'll be?
I think tops 4.
Okay. So I'll be like 60. Yeah. So what else you want to talk about with the PS4? What do you think of in that generation?
When I think of that generation, the first ones that come to mind are Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, Nier Automata, the Resident Evil remakes, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7 did bring it back.
The Kingdom Hearts collections. I went through Trials of Mana and the Secret of Mana remakes. The Yakuza games. I beat 0, Kiwami, and 6. Played a little bit of Kiwami 2. But I don't know. I love my PS4. I played a shitload of my PS4.
It's a great system. I mean, compared to other
Final
ones.
Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy. I see. I didn't get into that. That's another game. I was like, eh.
I liked 15 a lot.
Like 15 a lot.
The gameplay the story was a little lackluster, but the gameplay, especially the first half with the open world, was really fun.
Yeah. So PS4 is same as for number 5. Okay, so what do you think about the design of the original PS4? I like it a lot.
I like all of the design. My Slim is my least favorite. I have the Pro. But
I think it looks like a hamburger.
I like all the
It makes
designs.
me hungry when I see it.
But
I love this one. It's so sleek. When I seen it, I was like, man, I need to have it.
Well, the Xbox One looked like the VCR when it came out.
Oh, yeah, it looked like crap. I don't like it. It was so boring. I like the designs because they try to do like the craziest thing. It all looks unique.
It's definitely a lot cooler than the Xbox One looked, 100%.
Yeah, I had an Xbox One. I just sold it because what I'm playing on it except for Halo.
Yeah.
And you could probably just play it on PC. Like, can you play it on PC yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not back then, right?
No, that's why I sold my Xbox One.
So what's the point? Yeah, so I like the design of the PS4. One of my favorites. Probably when it originally came out, I was like, I gotta have it because it's so sweet. So PS4. So, like you were saying earlier, you can play the PS4 games on this bad boy, the PS5. So that's number 4 for me, PS5. It's super early in the generation, but I like it a lot. When I got this originally, the PS4, I was so excited for it, but the launch was kind of weak. It had Killzone. Killzone was alright. Resogun was really good, but it took a while for it to actually catch steam. But I would say I probably would have put this above this. but it plays all the PS4 games, and sometimes even better. Frame rate higher, faster speeds. It has the SSD.
Yep.
When this came out, it was super underpowered compared to like PCs. This is almost like comparable.
Yeah, you can't. It's $500 for that. To get a PC that powerful, I think you're probably paying over $1,000.
Yeah. So
easy.
I mean, eventually it's gonna get surpassed by PCs, of course. But
it's
right now,
surpassed. Like I got my 3070 Ti's.
Yeah. So if you want like an affordable computer, quality graphics and speed, get this. And like you were saying earlier, Astrobot, great hacking game. I love that game. It shows the history of PlayStation, which I absolutely love.
They had a lot of nostalgia in it.
Yeah, it's so many Easter eggs. I love that game so much when I first got it. Miles Morales was good. I know that's on PS4 as well.
Yeah, Astrobot was an awesome tech demo. I didn't play.
I forgot to mention the original Spider-Man was on PS4. That was a great game.
I didn't play any. Astrobot's the only exclusive PS5 game I've put a bunch of time into, probably.
Yeah, I think I platinum it as well. I got all the trophies.
I think I have like 80% of the trophies.
That game is awesome. It was one of my favorite games from last year. It was like number 7 or 6.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than it had any right being.
Yeah, it's a demo. It's just supposed to show you how to use the controller.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk about the controller since we're not going to talk about the PS5. This one, and you said you like this one better, right? The DualShock 4.
I like the way the DualShock 4 feels in your hand better.
This does feel better. It fits your hands just like perfectly.
Yeah.
Ergonomics. But I do like. I have to say I like how this feels more. I like how this plays more. Like the feeling when you play in the game, especially with the exclusives.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one exclusive. I gotta bring it out. But I like the design of this, how it looks more, and it's basically the different version of this. I like the haptic feedback, and I forgot what the adaptive triggers.
Yep.
I like that a lot. And
I have the same controller too.
You have the same, the translucent?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, this may be, like, these two are my favorite PlayStation controllers. And this is my favorite exclusive so far. And my game of the year so far. I love this game. Roguelike roguelike third-person shooter made by Housemarque. Have you played this?
Not at all. I was going to ask to borrow it when you were done with it.
I'm trying to get done with it. This game, I don't know. You like hard games, right?
Yeah.
This game is fucking difficult. I've been playing this since April, but I love games like this. A lot of fun. It works well with the controller, with the haptic feedback. It feels really nice. But that was my favorite game so far of the year, and some of the exclusives were really good, except for Destruction Derby. I mean, not Destruction Derby. Destruction All-Stars. Yeah, that was the weakest one so far.
My favorite game of the year so far is the Nier Replicant remaster. But that's it's like a halfway between a remake and a remaster.
I gotta play that.
If we're talking a new game that's not a remaster, I'd say Resident Evil 8 so far.
Resident Evil 8 is great, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I like this game a little bit more though. So far.
With you as big of a Resident Evil fan as you are, that's crazy.
There's no other, it's so much. I love the intense gameplay. It reminds me of Dark Souls. Yeah. I love the being the edge of your seat playing. So number 4 is the PS5, and it could move up or lower to the list. The PS4 can move up ahead of it in terms of games. If it's disappointing games after disappointing games, but so far it's been good. So number 4, PS5.
All right, so I'm sticking with your number 4 as well again.
You cheater.
Only because it just came out. I can't rank it any higher than the other. The 3 systems I have ranked above it, I can't rank this higher than that just because. There's, like I said, I've only played through. That's an exclusive on the PS5. The Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade DLC.
Well, that was already on the PS4.
Not that DLC though.
Oh, the DLC is new. Yeah. DLC. Yeah.
So
it's only on PS4, 5.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And I can't believe it's still exclusive to the PlayStation. Is it still exclusive?
Still, yeah.
Wow, I thought it'd be after a year.
I thought it would. It
would move
came
to
out
Xbox.
in April, of 2020.
See, man, PlayStation got some great exclusives. So you don't have any. Yeah, that's the only exclusive you have.
So I don't got.
Yeah, it's fine. So it just came out, but like we were saying earlier, you can play. This makes it pretty obsolete, the PS4. So I had to put this over it.
Yeah,
and and it's faster. The UI is better, in like terms of how it goes fast and like everything's integrated. Like we're talking about, like the Netflix, all that is much easier to use, but that's not really game stuff.
Yeah.
I do see. Look, I have some problems with the UI with this. It's kind of clunky. Like I gotta think about. Like
I hate how they swapped the home button.
Like, yeah, you gotta hold it. Yeah,
instead like what you on the PS4, what you would just tap it
and
for,
the PS3,
you would have to hold it now on the PS5, and what you would have to hold on the PS4, you just have to tap on the PS5. They should have just kept it the same.
Why did they change that? I wish I wish they can just give us options. Yeah, I don't understand why they do that. So that was so you said number 4 PS5. Yep. So controversial one for you because you hate this. Well, you don't hate it. You just don't care about it. The PS3 is number 3 for me. So I love the design of this. It's probably my favorite design. It looks like a grill, one of those George Foreman's, but I like the what's it called? Spider-Man font and like how glossy it is. It looks so cool. It looked very classy back then.
Yeah.
But
it looks very 2000s now.
Oh, I don't care. I love the 2000s looks. It's like, it's the 2000s. Yeah. Like everything was 2000 something.
Everything was all round and bubbly.
Yeah, this is all like sharp.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of went back. But so of course I didn't buy this at release cuz I don't have $600 to spend when I was like 14.
I know it's crazy too because you go back to the PlayStation 1's launch and the guy walked up and he's like,
yeah,
$300 or whatever,
$299. Yeah, it was great.
And now Xbox should have did the same thing and mocked them.
Yeah, they should have. They kind of messed. So what Xbox did for this generation, PlayStation did for that one. They just giant enemy crab, Ridge Racers. I think that's hilarious, man. I love that. Going back and watching that.
Yeah.
For the E3 2006, yeah. So they got a big head. They think like the Nintendo, Xbox. They thought is like their second thought.
Yeah.
So do you know who made the original 1, 2, and 3?
No.
It was Ken Kugaragi. They compare him to Steve Jobs. He's like a crazy man that just makes crazy designs. So he made the first 3, but not these 2. I like how he took a lot of risk. He put everything into the system. So it's like it does everything. Like I was talking about with this feels like more like a personal computer. You could put music, videos. Like you can even print stuff off of it. Like you can do everything, and I really missed that.
The original Xbox was actually you could do some of that on too.
Yeah,
you could put music on it.
Yeah, so like they got away from that.
Hard drive
I remember that. I used to have. That's the first system I did that with, and then you can do even more with that with this one. Also, it had free online. Yeah,
you call it.
And it worked really well. And of course, it's not going to be like Xbox. They'd always done that better, but this worked fine for me when I used to play all the time.
That's one thing with my PlayStations. I probably only have 1 to 3 hours of online multiplayer on a PlayStation console.
I used to play
only single player games, really, or couch co-op games.
Yeah, I mean that's what I usually used to do as well.
Now Xbox, I got thousands of hours of multiplayer. Not even just Halo, just all kinds of shit.
Yeah, so when it originally came out, I have to say it was terrible. Like the first 2 years, but a couple of great games came out. Like the Ratchet & Clank game, the first one, Tools of Destruction. The first Uncharted, I mean, later on it was a game changer. Heavenly Sword, all that. But, like, the games were pretty, I mean, they were worse than on the Xbox. So people, like, counted it out. It wasn't really good. But then it changed, like, around 2009, 2008. Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. It was a big deal for me when it came out. Because I love Metal Gear Solid, and it was a great game when it came out. I think it got me back into gaming hardcore when I played it. I was like, man, I gotta start playing games again. Because I originally had a Wii, and it's like, whatever. The Wii was fun for like a couple minutes.
The Wii's fun for like you're a casual gamer.
Yeah. It's fun though.
Any of those gimmicks I feel like they're geared towards casual gamers. Like I don't want no motion controls. I don't want no VR. I don't want touch controls.
You just want where's the move controller?
It's right up front.
Yeah. So the move controller. Yeah, so this was a big failure for them. But they eventually used it for the VR, so which I thought was cool. They're just trying to be Nintendo. They always try to do Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
And they're too late.
Xbox did the Kinect, and it was the same bullshit.
Yeah, I hate that.
The iToy, too. I didn't like the iToy for the PS2 either.
Yeah, that's not for me, really. But once 2009 hit, and also Little Big Planet, bangers came out. Infamous.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yeah, that was like the end of the PS3. And
Uncharted 2 helped a lot, too.
Oh, yeah, Uncharted 2. And this game is a PS3 exclusive. Demon's Souls, it created a genre of games. I love these games so much. And I have a lot of great memories of playing the PS3. All the great games came out also on other systems like Dead Space, Deus Ex, also Mass Effect. Originally came out on the Xbox, and then they, for some reason, I don't know how they got it on PlayStation.
Didn't 2 and 3 come out before 1 came out on the PlayStation?
Yeah. Wait, did it? Yeah. I played 2 first, and then...
That just shows you how stacked the 360's library was. Because Mass Effect was one of their exclusives.
At first.
Yeah.
At first. Now, if they kept all the exclusives, I gotta admit that it'd be way better.
They got Bethesda now, so it's...
Oh, yeah. Look, for me, that's why, Bethesda games are, like whatever to me.
No, see, I love my Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom.
Oh, yeah, Doom. Yeah, I forgot about Doom. Yeah.
Quake.
But back then, Doom wasn't, whatever. But now, it's a big deal for me again. So, yeah, for me, it was, the console that got me back into gaming. And it started off pretty bad, and it finished strong. And they got back to the top, I guess, with the PlayStation. But who cares? Where I loved it, I still enjoy it. I still play it today. And I know you say there's no games that you're really interested in, but Folklore, Valkyria Chronicles. I mean, I guess that's
I have it on PS4.
Yeah, so a lot of the games has been ported to that, but when it originally came out, there's a lot of great games that were only on the PS3.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing what was I about to say?
What's crazy? The 360 even had better JRPGs. The 360 had there was not a better JRPG, a turn-based JRPG, a better one for this generation than Lost Odyssey.
So I understand completely why you would say that is because I would say Ni no Kuni, one of the better ones, White Knight Chronicles, and there's not much more in terms of turn-based strategy RPG. Or strategy RPGs, not even close.
This had in America Tales of Vesperia.
Oh yeah, Tales games. Yeah.
Lost Odyssey. Well, the PlayStation had Xillia. But
Xillia and Graces.
Tales of Vesperia was only on the 360. Mm-hmm. Lost Odyssey 360. Last Remnant. Which I can't remember. I think
Infinite Undiscovery.
Infinite Undiscovery. Blue Dragon.
Yeah. They were trying hard to get, but I guess they couldn't do it. Nobody was interested in Japan of the Xbox. So they kind of just forget it. But
that's why I keep hearing all these rumors of SquareSoft being bought by Microsoft. That would be the stupidest decision they could make.
Oh no! Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
Because Japan does not like the Xbox.
Yeah, so they never.
They will lose a lot of Japanese sales, which will hurt me specifically because if they're not getting sales from Japanese games, they'll stop making them. Also, probably it'll be all Tomb Raider and all their other side shit that I don't play.
Yeah. I play those. I like those a lot. So, yeah, the PS3, I got great memories on it. One of my favorite systems. I love playing. And I also, when I started collecting, I was collecting for the PS3, so I got a lot of the good games.
You got a ton of PS3.
Yeah, I got 300 PS3 games, and I'm still playing through all of them. I still got to get to it. Yeah, so.
That's your number 3.
Number 3. I couldn't put it over the first 2 because those are just great.
It's hot, yeah. So
can't do it. I wish I could.
My number 3, PSP.
PSP, yeah.
I got this sexy God of War PSP. I just got it.
I hate you.
I just got it last week.
You thought it was custom made, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I never see that in person.
There's nothing on it that says God of War. So, yeah. But man, there's so many good JRPGs on that system. That's really all I played on that system was JRPGs.
That's all you really need to do.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, Star Ocean 2, Star Ocean 1, the Disgaea games, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, John Blank. But
John Blank.
There's so much good. Oh, Crisis Core, the Dissidia games. It had like the Final Fantasy 4 was on there. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 was on there. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can't remember if 3 was or not.
Almost all of them were.
Yeah, and they had like an upgraded version, and it was just fucking awesome.
What they did was all the
Speaking of Crisis Core, I got Crisis Core right here.
Oh yeah. And I have where did I put
I got it from this fine young gentleman a week or two ago.
And I guess who I got? I got this from him. Silent Hill Origins, originally for the PSP.
We kind of, I kind of got that in the trade for that.
Yeah.
So, and then another cool thing about the PSP is it played movies. The only movie I got that I kept just because it's Final Fantasy VII is Advent Children.
He gave me Ghost in Shell with the PSP. It looks good. It still looks good after almost like 20 years.
Oh, you're gonna be kind of mad. I used that. I traded that Cowboy Bebop one, but
I would have gave you money for it. It's okay. I'll probably get it for like $1 online or something. Nobody's gonna buy it, but that was awesome. I love that.
I really was gonna keep that, but the guy that I traded for my Super Nintendo broke, so I needed a new one ASAP. And he asked, "Hey, are any of your PSP movies anime?" And he knocked off $10 off the price for throwing Cowboy Bebop in there. Nice. So I had to throw that in there.
So, anything else you want to talk about the PSP? I know, like, it was a huge modding.
Oh yeah, so system. Yeah, mine's modded.
Yeah, I think
not this one. I have my one I had my original one is modded like a motherfucker, and it just it took Memory Stick Pro Duos, which were just digital camera cards. It wasn't just.
It was super cheap.
Yeah, they weren't expensive at all. So
you know why Sony did that?
They try to get more money.
Yep.
That's why the VSV, they fucked herself in the Vita.
Yeah, they should have just left it like that because they didn't want people to mod it. But people are going to mod it anyways. They're going to figure it out eventually.
You can mod the Vitas.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know why they thought like Nintendo does that too with their stuff. Like the GameCube the GameCube discs are small because of privacy.
Yeah.
But they still can open that boy up easily.
And then like you could hook your PSP 2000s, the second model, up to the TV. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. They were just.
It was innovative for its time because when you look back 2004, those graphics are great.
Yeah, they're between a PS1 and PS2.
Yeah. So I'm just so disappointed in myself I didn't get it, but I was stupid back then.
And then like you had the Silent Hill Origins was on there. Silent Hill, I think wasn't Shattered Memories was on there too, right?
Is it on there? I know it's on the Wii and the PS2. I'm not sure.
It might be on the PSP. I can't remember.
I'm not sure, but you could probably play it.
Yeah,
just my mod in it. Yeah.
So many good games.
They are. When I was looking it up, I was like, damn, I messed up because all their first party stuff they had it on there. Like the God of War games are great on there.
Yep.
Like SOCOM, all their main stuff, and a lot of the PS2 games reported to the PSP and back and forth.
There's like Daxter exclusives, Jak and Daxter. I think there's Ratchet and Clank exclusives.
Yeah, size matters. Yeah.
There's so much stuff. Ain't there another just regular Jak and Daxter too, or just is Daxter the only exclusive?
See, I don't. It probably is though, and they tried a lot of other games too, but probably it was forgotten games.
Yeah.
So much. So definitely get a PSP. I'm disappointed in myself I didn't get it, but you said number 3 for you.
Yep, number 3.
Number 3. So, moment of truth. What is it gonna be number 1? I mean number 2.
I know what my number 1 is.
I know yours.
You know what my number 1 is. So, I think for your number 2, I think you're gonna pick the PlayStation 1.
And he's right. He's right. It's the PlayStation 1. You don't slap me. Now, you gotta remember, I am younger than you.
I think that has a lot to do with it, honestly.
Also, I didn't get into RPGs until recently. Like, more into it. Hands down, the best RPG machine. I gotta say.
You see the PS2?
Oh no! I mean the PS1.
Oh yeah, duh. I forgot.
The PS1. The PS1.
You scared me for a second. We might have had to fight.
The PS1 is the best RPG machine. It's number 2 for me.
Some people might argue the Super Nintendo, but I think I agree with you. Some people, I know plenty of people. They're usually older than me. They'll say the Super Nintendo.
And once again, this could change once I play enough games. But like RPGs for me, I'm still getting into it, so that's why I have to put it number 2. Other than that, it's like one of the best systems of all time. It could be the best system of all time. I gotta get more deep into it. It started so many series. It started Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solids. I guess
No,
the new Solid. I know it's like
number 1 was on PlayStation 1.
we're not gonna talk about that. Shh. Metal Gear. Okay, one of the biggest games of all time. Metal Gear Solids. Resident Evil. One of my favorite franchises of all time.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking
that.
you're talking about the PlayStation 2.
No, PlayStation 2. Yes.
Oh, so yeah, you are talking about the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, started so many franchises. My bad.
You're good. Like Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid. I know Metal Gear was like in the 80s.
Those don't count.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid, man. Resident Evil. Wait, let me. Yeah, you have to hide it. Tekken. Oh, let's talk about.
Oh yeah, Tekken.
So this. Oh yeah, Tekken. But then
Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. A lot of great platformers. Like this is the mascot. Crash Bandicoot. This is the first game I remember beating.
He was the Mario of Sony, and then they're like, "Nah, you guys can have him."
Yeah, Activision.
Yeah.
Dumbasses, I swear. But that was Naughty Dog before like Last of Us, Uncharted.
Crazy. They're like, yeah, let's make all these cartoony ass games, but now Uncharted.
Yeah, it's so weird how they like just changed. So Tekken, like back then, the fighting games were great. Tekken, a lot of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, all like those type of games, like Capcom were at their best at that time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Capcom was killing it on the
And
PS1.
I love Capcom, those type of games. Man, there's so many like
Silent Hill. You didn't say that.
Silent Hill came out in '99. Great, it was a great competitor for like
Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis, great. So like the original Silent Hill, Konami wanted to compete with the Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So Konami's like, just make something that's exactly like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do that, so they just made something like crazy different, and it turned out to be Silent Hill, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Great, like they're like equal standings, Resident Evil and Silent Hill nowadays.
Yeah.
So man, there's so many, I'm trying to think of more. Man, there's so many great games, and
Twisted
also
Metal.
Twisted Metal, of course, Twisted Metal right
Medieval.
here. Medieval. Like they tried so much back then, and like they got it right the first time, and yeah, it's their first console, and it's so great. Like the startup, the controller. Oh well, I guess that's the PS2 controller. I mean, it did come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's this version right here.
Yeah, the original controller is still great.
It didn't have joysticks,
but the Nintendo 64 had like the original like thumbstick, whatever.
Nintendo 64 has the worst controller ever made.
Basically. But I still can handle it because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But people, when you give it to them, like, what is this? A banana? So
it was only good for Mario 64. Basically.
I mean, that's what it was designed for. But with the DualShock controller, that's been the standard since now, man. Come on.
I mean, it's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's DualSense now.
And it was like made in '97. DualSense. Made in '97. Yep. Like there was so much innovative stuff going on back then. I love it. And like I said, RPG machine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're gonna talk about it. Chrono Trigger, all the Final Fantasies.
Well, Chrono Trigger was a Super Nintendo.
I mean, Chrono Cross. I'm sorry, Chrono Cross. Final Fantasy. Man, so much stuff going on there. It's ridiculous. It's one of the best systems of all time.
Oh yeah.
But for me, we're gonna talk about it. I was a little bit too young to really experience it, and I think a lot of the games got perfected or just like aged better with that, because that was the original attempt at 3D games, and some games don't play as well.
Yeah.
Now.
And then like the small PS1 had a screen you could buy.
The LCD screen.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. It was
a lot of cool accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, I love that thing. I wish I could put both of them just one.
Yeah.
They're the two greatest systems of all time.
I mean, they basically are one because you can play all the PS1 games on there.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I mean, I know I gave the PS5 the edge for that reason.
Yeah.
But it's for nostalgia. I'm still not gonna give the PS2 the edge for my picks.
So PS2.
My PS2 is my number 2.
Okay. So what is your memories with the PS2?
So my first game, I'm like,
and why the number 2?
I just have too much love for the PS1. There's so many good games on it.
Yeah.
So
it is.
That's really why That's why PS2 is my number 2.
Okay.
But so first game I got was I'm like 11 years old. Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh man, I love that game so much. I remember first playing that.
That was the game to have at the time.
Mm-hmm. Everybody had it.
Kingdom Hearts, one of my favorite games.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, just look at that.
Kingdom Hearts, one of my favorite games of all time. Came out on the PS2. We got Shadow Colossus, was a great game.
Let me see that.
The PS4. I like the PS4 version. It runs a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
This game kind of sucks, but it's fine. I'm talking
Fantasy.
about all the other Final Fantasy 7 stuff, so I might as well show this too.
Square fan.
Yeah. But Final Fantasy 10, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. You had the Drakengard games, the Xenosaga games, the Dot Hack games. Again, just all JRPGs. I love my JRPGs.
There's a lot of JRPGs on there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of series that continued.
Plus, you could play online on the PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, I didn't really do.
I didn't do it at all.
But that was the first one you could do it.
Yeah.
The first PlayStation system. You know the first system that you could do it on?
Was it Dreamcast?
Yeah, Dreamcast had a modem in it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, it didn't work. The first really good one was Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always excelled at that.
Well, I mean, they made computers, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about that.
Just trying to look over there, make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Oh, the Guitar Hero series.
Do you want to talk about the controller?
Started on PS2. So yeah, the controller. It's just why fix what's not broken?
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing as a DualShock. I think it has pressure sensitive buttons or something.
Yeah, I remember that they utilized that in Metal Gear Solid 2, where you kind of like creep over it. That was so cool.
Like I said, I'm just trying to make.
There's so many.
Star Ocean. And then the Legacy of Kain games, they had all the sequels like Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2. You have Defiance.
There's so many, man.
Killzone started on PS2. They've imported Half-Life, Grandia 2. Just there's so much stuff. Like, it's so hard to just. I don't know, man. They're both really good systems. Oh, the Dark Cloud games.
Mm-hmm.
That's made by the same people who made Ni no Kuni, the level 5.
Yep.
And then what's their other game? The sci-fi one. What's that one called? Rogue
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. So look, man. The best RPGs are on the PS1, but it's a close.
There's a lot on the PS2.
Yeah, and I need to play more, and I'll decide like which ones I like more because the improved graphics. But I do like the look of the original PlayStation. I think like they like Square, they had like all their best people.
It was
PS1.
Hironobu Sakaguchi was just killing it.
Yeah, so they were just pumping out classic after classic. And it was more fractured, I think, in the PS2 era. But all the other companies were going in.
Oh yeah, even like
Konami.
Konami made Suikoden, right? Isn't that a Konami game?
Yeah, but that was on. Yeah, the PS1. Yeah.
Yeah.
It started the PS1.
I forgot. I don't know why. I'm talking about PS2.
Yeah. But yeah, it's confusing.
But yeah, like all the companies were making JRPGs in those first two generations. Mm-hmm. You don't see that too often anymore.
Yeah. So I missed that. That was missing in the PS3 era, definitely.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else to say about the PS2? Because I'm gonna start talking about it. It's my baby.
You can go ahead. Take the reins.
So, it came out when I was 8, and that's when my love of gaming was like, wow, yeah, this is game changer.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, Tekken. I remember the moments. It was like. The cutscene, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Can it get any better than this? I mean, obviously
and you look at that. You watch that same cutscene today, and it looks like claymation.
And I love it. It still looks great to me. But, the graphics still hold up to me. So the PS1 graphics, I love them, but some of them are really dated. The PS2, that generation, I think that's when, the graphics of 3D was great.
Yeah, they smoothed it out a little bit.
So similar to, how the NES was the precursor to the Pixel Classic. The Super Nintendo perfected it. It looks absolutely amazing. So similar to the PS2, I like the look of it even better than maybe the later generation PS3, Xbox 360. Yeah. I like it.
Everything on the PS3 and Xbox 360 was gray and brown and dark green. And
they're just trying to be too gritty.
Yeah.
Now back then, the PS2.
They all copied off Gears of War is really what they were doing.
Yeah, idiots. So. I like the look of the games, and like there's so many. Like you're naming off game after game after game. Like in the first year, 2001, that's one of the best gaming years of all time. Maybe even the best.
Halo 1 came out that year.
Yeah, and it had Metal Gear Solid.
I think Diablo 2 came out that year. I think Kingdom Hearts 1 came out that year.
Yeah. Wait, Kingdom Hearts 1 came out 2002.
Okay, so I was off by a year.
Yeah.
Diablo might have been 2000 as well.
Yeah, that was 2000. So it came out. Silent Hill 2 came out. A classic game, one of my favorite games of all time now.
Classic.
Also, Grand Theft Auto 3 changed gaming. I remember the moment I played that, and I was like walking around, and people were just talking to you.
I remember the first hooker I banged.
Yeah.
And then I killed her.
And then you killed her. Yeah, of course you got to kill the hooker, of course. But this is my favorite one. Came out like a year later. Vice City, the 80s. Like you're saying, the 80s is the best.
Everything is the best.
This is 80s encapsulated perfectly. I love it.
Most people will say San Andreas is their favorite, but no.
Oh no, that's my favorite.
Oh,
and I love the hip hop era. I love that era. I love this way more though. It's basically Scarface.
The 80s just put that over the top. Is all that is. I don't know.
I love this so much. So, one thing that I love more than anything in games is horror and stealth.
I'm not too big on stealth, but I do love horror.
Oh, I love stealth. So, this is the best generation for horror games. It started with the PS1 with Resident Evil.
PS1's got a lot. Though.
It does have a lot, but you gotta think about it. The most expensive games are horror games and RPGs. I played these on my computer because I can't afford $800 games. Kuon is made by FromSoft.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, see, like I did my research on horror games. I try to look up every horror game and all the best ones on the PS2 and the PS1.
Like some I haven't played I never even heard of that. I've never played Obscure. I've never played
Yep.
Nightmare Creatures was PS1.
Yeah.
Couple of the PS2 era Silent Hills I haven't played. I've played a little bit of 2, but other than that.
2 and 3, some like the soundtracks and that, all of them by Akira Yamaoka. He was one of the best composers of all time. I love his music. He still is.
He just did the music for that shitty Xbox Series X game, the Medium.
It's probably a little bit better because of him.
I think he did the music for it. Don't quote me.
He did. I remember seeing it. So this is the best era for horror games. It still had the classic tank controls, like the fixed cameras, which I absolutely love.
But they had moving fixed cameras,
and that's why it's better.
It's better, and just they looked a lot better too.
It's actually really scary because they can improve the graphics. So Fatal Frame, Siren, also what's that one game called? Haunting Grounds. There's some Clock Tower 3.
Oh, what's
the traditional
the Capcom game?
Clock Tower 3 and Haunting Ground.
Okay, well then no. What's the other one?
Devil May Cry.
Ghost Hunter.
Ghost Hunter. See?
Yeah. That's Namco.
Wait, Ghost Hunter? No, it's Namco. Yeah. Also, wait, what we were just talking about before that? It was Haunting Ground, Clock Tower 3. There's another horror game, Rule of Rose. All these games.
I never heard of that either.
See, all these.
I think that's on. Actually, no, I have heard of that. I think it's on the original Xbox too.
No, Rule of Rose these are all exclusive to PS2. Are you sure? Yes.
I'm like pretty
Rule
sure.
of Rose is exclusive to the PS2. It's like $500 game.
Holy fuck!
All these games I'm naming is really Haunting Ground, 300. God Hand. You ever heard of it? Made by Capcom, one of the best beat 'em ups of all time, and it's hilarious. Some of my favorite
have it?
Yeah, I don't have it. No, it's like a $200 game almost. All these games are super expensive, and like you were talking about earlier with the RPGs, so many RPGs came out like to continue the series. Suikoden, Wild Arms, a Xeno Saga, so many, and I don't really know the new ones. I forgot what the new ones. I can look it up. I can name off games all fucking day.
The games
the PS2.
The games on the PS2 that I want most right now. But I'll probably never get these because all of them are expensive. I want the Shadow Hearts series.
Shadow Hearts. There you go. Horror and RPG. Come on. And what's the one on the PS1?
Kadelka.
Yeah. So I want that's what.
It's like a $400 game.
Yeah. The Shadow Hearts. What I played of it, it's awesome. You will love it.
You have that, don't you?
I have that. I have the first one and the second one.
So I guess I have the opportunity to play.
Yeah, you can borrow it. I gotta beat it first. I played it. It's so good. I think you'll love it because I love it too. Like I said, Silent Hill. I mean, RPGs and horror. It's the best on a combination of the two on the PS2 for me. Yeah. Also, we have some of the more experimental games. Shadow of the Colossus, I loved it. Ico, classics.
That's they made, what's the third game they made?
It was on the PS4.
Of the Guardian.
Last Guardian.
Last
yeah.
Guardian.
I played a little bit of that. But then they got some other exclusives like God of War. This is my favorite one, the original one. God of War, I loved it when it originally came out. Crazy, crazy good. And then one of my favorite series, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. When 2 came out, it was amazing. And it's still amazing today. The graphics, the story, crazy good. And this is the best one to me. Metal Gear Solid 3. James Bond, 1960s. Love that era. And it's a great story, great characters. Love it. Yeah, very emotional story.
I really need to get into the Metal Gear games.
It's the anime Splinter Cell. Yeah. It's very anime and it's great. I just think about the PS2 and I'm like, wow.
That sounds better to me.
Yeah.
Making the anime, the Japanese to me make the best video games.
Yeah, they do, and these two systems was mostly Japanese games.
Japanese game developers carried these. It was all, to me, it was Squaresoft, Capcom, and Konami.
Yeah.
Those three in particular.
And a little bit of Namco.
And a little bit of Namco. Yeah.
Well, the Tekken games. Tekken games were good on there.
Even though I still like the newer Namco games, ever since it's been Bandai Namco, I feel like it's been a little less quality.
Yeah. It's not really the same because similar to Square Enix, it used to be just Square. Now you got two a bigger.
But Bandai was never as good as Namco in the first place. Where Enix, even though they didn't put out as many games, the games they came out with were still on par. You play if you probably never played Valkyrie Profile.
No, I haven't played it yet.
That looks
that too, the second one on the PS2 and the PS1.
The first one is still sprites, so it looks a lot better. And then Star Ocean, those games were amazing. Illusion of Gaia, Enix made good shit.
Yeah, they did. But Bandai, was not really
was nothing special, really.
Yeah,
were they Power Rangers?
Wasn't
Power Rangers Bandai?
I think I don't know.
Bandai property.
I don't know. So the PS2, man, it might be my favorite system of all time. So,
we're about to talk about the PS1. For me, that's my favorite one of all time.
I'm trying to think of something else. There's so many. It's the amount of games they had, exclusive games.
What's the best-selling console of all time? I believe
it is. It's 155 or something like that.
I know the Wii's up there too, but
it's 100 something.
Yeah.
I know all these stats.
So the last game that was made for the PS2 was FIFA 2019 or some shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was still coming out because other territories, they were behind. So
what was it? Was it 2020 or was it 2019?
I might have been 2019. I have it on my phone. Yeah. So I wish I had it. So yeah, the amount of games it has, the variety, the best place to play horror games, I think, and one of the best places to play RPGs.
The PS4 cranked out some decent horror games though, with bringing the RE back. I like
the traditional style of it.
I think the Resident Evil remakes and 7 and 8 are gonna bring horror back.
I'm hoping.
I think
I don't like the. Go ahead.
Much money as those have made, we're 100% getting a new Silent Hill at some point. I think so.
Oh yeah, I think Sony.
I think they're remaking the first one.
See, if they can bring back horror like they did with the PS2, this is gonna move up because I love horror video games. This is some of my favorite. And hopefully they bring back some stuff because everything's a stealth game now.
Yeah, we need a new Splinter Cell too.
Yeah, they do. I don't know what's going on. It's been almost 10 years.
They keep throwing Sam Fisher and all their other bullshit games Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, but no, we want a fucking Splinter Cell. Mm-hmm. The Splinter Cell's I hate Ubisoft. Ubisoft is such a terrible developer to me anymore. All their games feel the same. They have to all be running on the same engine. Because Far Cry, it feels like Ghost Recon, but you're in first person. Ghost Recon feels just like The Division, except you don't have to shoot people as much to kill them.
I gave up on
Assassin's
Ubisoft.
Creed feels just like Division to me. I don't know. I don't like the way their games feel. The graphics do look good. The last Ubisoft game I say I'd probably put a lot of time into is Far Cry 3.
I'm the exact same way because I gave up on Ubisoft because it's like you said, it's a formula, and I don't like that. It's like the Call of Duty stuff. I try to stay away from that.
EA too, like EA, I guess is finally coming back because for a while EA was, or no, that was PlayStation that said that. Like, no, it was EA. They said nobody plays single player games.
Yeah,
well, now they're making single player games again because people want to play single player games. Like Jedi Fallen Order got sold really well.
It did, and EA. Activision, Blizzard, with stuff going on with that. Well, that's a different story.
Blizzard used to make the highest quality games you could possibly make. And now they're just, like, making girls kill themselves by sexually harassing them and shit. Like, did you hear about all that?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if I can mess with them, because that's fucked up.
The only thing, I already paid for it. So, the Diablo 2 remaster. Yeah. Other than that,
I mean, it's a re-release of game.
I probably won't really fuck with Blizzard anymore.
Yeah. That's because the state is suing them. But let's focus on the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You about to go rant on as it should because they're terrible. So the PS2 is my favorite probably system of all time, and I just like when I see it, the games of that era. It's my favorite. Oh, definitely my favorite.
So I feel that same exact way, but about the PS1. So, PS1. First of all,
and you can play the PS1 games on there.
Yeah. They designed the controller that everybody copied off of afterwards, basically. Once that DualShock came out, I mean, the Xbox is basically a DualShock. Mm-hmm. I mean, you move the joystick and the D-pad around, but it's essentially the same shit. And, I mean, come on. Final Fantasy VII
changed the world.
Changed the world. Nobody played JRPGs until Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's a big deal.
Like, you talk to people, you talk to jocks and everything, that you never think in a million years they play a nerdy Japanese game, and they're like, "Oh my god, man, I used to love Final Fantasy VII."
Who are you?
They didn't play any of the other ones, nothing else, but they love Final Fantasy VII. And then my favorite PlayStation game of all time, Final Fantasy Tactics. Star Ocean 2's up there for me. You had just SquareSoft in general. They had the Bushido Blade, Brave Fencer Musashi, Einhander, Xenogears, Parasite Eve. I know he loves Parasite Eve.
I love that. I love horror.
So
RPGs.
much crazy shit, dude. Like they were just pumping out. I don't understand how so many good JRPGs just kept coming out.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, every year. Like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 all came out like 1 or 2 years apart from each other. Now we have to wait 10 years for a new Final Fantasy every time.
Because the graphics.
Yeah, I liked it better when games had shitty graphics and they could make a game in a year.
Yeah, that's why I like the PS1 and PS2 era. They pumped it out way faster.
But then, I played... My favorite wrestling games were on the N64.
Yeah, me too.
I had a ton of...
All the WWF, SmackDown, all that?
Yeah, I had, SmackDown. I had, WCW vs. the World or something.
Yeah, it was great.
I had so many PS1 wrestling games, too. I used to play all the time.
They still make them. The Ukes, I think this company's called, they still make them today.
What do you mean?
The WWE games, they still make them.
Oh, really?
Still the same company, yep.
Why are they bad now?
Because it's yearly releases.
The No Mercy company makes them?
No.
Oh, so the SmackDown.
Yeah, the SmackDown company, Ukes.
That was THQ, though.
Yeah, THQ. Okay. I forgot what they're called.
Yeah.
But whoever made the SmackDown games, they still make them today.
Yes.
But now it's shitty because they make them every year.
Yeah, it's stupid.
The Call of Duty syndrome.
Stupid for a wrestling game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Come out once every 3 years or something.
Yeah, I hate that shit. That's another thing about the PS4, PS3 era.
But. So you had Symphony of the Night. You had.
Oh man! See, I forgot to mention that.
You had you had Alundra 1 and 2. You had Acclaim and Midway and Konami and I think Capcom. I think was making JRPGs too.
Breath of Fire.
Yeah. Yep. So.
I wish they do that more. I mean, I guess they make Monster Hunter, but that's not. I mean, I haven't really tried it. It's not really for me.
My thing.
Yeah.
Just so much, and I talked about Destruction Derby earlier. I said it was one of my first games. That game's so fun. I like Destruction Derby Raw better, but I had Destruction Derby 2. And then the Twisted Metal games. I used to play Twisted Metal 2 like crack, man. Just does everything. I'd beat it with every character. They have their little stories and stuff. Mm-hmm. The third one had Rob Zombie songs in the soundtrack. Tekken, like he was saying, I used to play the crap out of Tekken 3. I had the Tekken 3 demo. So all you had on it was Eddie and what's her name, Zhao Yu?
Yeah.
So those were my 2 favorite characters because I used to play it on the demo so much. You had Parappa the Rapper.
Oh, Rapper the Rapper.
Yeah.
See, there were so many experimental games back then.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't come out like nowadays.
No.
I guess it would come out for like a downloadable title, but back then that was on disc. They put a lot of work into it. So many great games that so much variety that you don't really see.
You had Tamba, like some of the platformers too. Croc.
Yeah.
Just so much stuff, man.
Metal Gear Solids.
Tales of Destiny was on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, like every game that you can think of, the type was great. Did you mention Medieval?
Oh no, and I have the guy right here, Medieval on PS1.
Gran Turismo, I know that's not my thing, but definitely like a big series back then.
Yeah, like he said, Crash Bandicoot,
Oh yeah,
Spyro, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Brought up Tomb Raider yet?
You see, it just keeps on going, going and going.
They started so many franchises started on the PlayStation 1 that are still going. Most of them are not PlayStation exclusives anymore.
No, they're not. But it started at PlayStation.
They started on PlayStation.
Yeah, look at that, man.
Soul Calibur started on PlayStation. It was Soul Blade.
Oh yeah, that was the first one before. Yeah. So look, man, 1 and 2 are interchangeable.
If 1 and 2 aren't your top 2 favorites, you're wrong.
Yeah, yeah, it's basically because 3 is lacking in a lot of ways, and 4, 5 is still newer, and the portable system, I don't think they can compete with the main systems because they really focus on the main ones. So, what do you think about the designs of the first 2? I like the designs.
I like them a lot.
Yeah,
I like them a whole lot.
I like the ridges. Kind of like came back with this.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't really like the PlayStation 5s.
I think the PlayStation 5 is probably the weakest.
I wish it was black, not white.
I like the white and black, but the design of it looks like a router.
Yeah, I don't. I like white and black together, but I wish it had more black than white.
I got you. You know, they'll hopefully come out with official ones, but people have made custom ones.
I don't like custom third-party shit on my system, though.
You're right. I don't even like customizing my controllers.
Yeah,
I like keeping the original.
Yeah,
dang, we're like a lot of ways. I can't believe that a lot of people like doing that.
Now, I held off on buying a new PlayStation 5 controller because I knew they were going to come out with colors. He bought the red one. This one's his.
I like red and black one. Yeah, I want to get that eventually. So
I would have bought this if it was more red.
More red. It is
magenta.
a lighter. It is a lot lighter than. It's not a darker red.
Yeah.
So I know it's gonna be it was a little more expensive too, like $5. I don't know why, but yeah. So that was. Oh. So should we rank it, or should we just keep our rankings? I think our rankings are fine, and how we have it, because I don't think we can make a definitive list. You think?
I don't think we could because
I think we were just arguing. It'd be a long video.
I don't think I could put the PS3 any higher than.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
6 or 7.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't think I wouldn't feel comfortable with that for me just because
gotcha.
I don't have enough experience with it and just what I know of from their game lineup. I don't. So and you're probably the same way for the PSP, really.
I haven't really played the PSP, so it's not fair.
Yeah.
So I think our listings are good. So what was your listings again?
So I'm gonna go
7.
I'm gonna go from. You want to go from worst to best?
Yeah.
So I went PS3, PS Vita. I went PS4, PS5, PSP, PS2, PS1.
All right. So that's the definitive list for him. For me, it's the PSP. Haven't played it. PS Vita. So much potential. Sadly failed. The PS4. The PS5, you can play all the PS4 games on the PS5, so I had to put it over it. The PS3, the underrated gem. And the best 2, the PS1, too young, and PS2. Probably the greatest, my favorite system of all time.
That's fair.
It's fair, yeah. So, there you have it. That's the definitive list of the rankings of the PlayStation systems. If you argue with us in the comment section,
we'll argue back.
We'll argue back and make you look dumb because we're professionals. We are professional YouTubers. So
now, we plan on doing Xbox and Nintendo too, right?
Yeah, you want to do Nintendo next, or
it's just what I was going to ask you. Which one you want to do next?
Let's do Nintendo.
Now I do know when we do the Xbox, I just realized we don't have neither one of us have an Xbox One now, but oh well.
I wonder what's going to be the last on the list. Well, the thing is with the Xbox, I don't have the Xbox Series X.
I have that, so.
And I would put that over the Xbox One so far, even though it just came
I
out.
don't blame you.
So
It can play all the Xbox One games, and it upscales them anyways. More than the PS5 upscales the PS4 games.
exactly.
So the Series X. I'll wait.
We'll wait. We'll have the video. But next we'll do Nintendo. So look forward to that. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, Preferred Dimension, and thank you for joining us. And until then, I see you in the next dimension.